All right, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. It is your Earth Mother, High Priestess Jamila. Good morning. I won't be here too long, so y'all better get in here and get it while you can. You know, I've been advertising my company on YouTube for the past 6 years, and what I can tell you is that the one thing about being a Black person that I can tell you is that the ignorance is very difficult to get away from. They will follow you, they will stalk you, they gonna bring that, their generations of Black failure and ignorance to Black people. For some reason, Black people think that it's okay to attack other Blacks. Now, the point that I want to drive home about this, as a witch, and I wouldn't even try to, I wouldn't even attempt to, I am not trying to save the entire Black race. Let me repeat that. I know for a fact that I can't save the entire Black race with my magic. To even be challenged to do so, to the point where you're being challenged by people that are too lazy to do things on their own. The main aspect of it, and as a Black woman, it is extremely embarrassing that, we're surrounded by these Black males that, where they draw their power and energy from, where they draw it from comes from the curse of patriarchy, from other curses that are on Black people, curses that were put on Black people. Look, I'm a high priestess for my clients that hire me. I am not everybody's high priestess to where I represent everybody. That's just like when Barack Obama was president. He said, I'm not just the president for Black people. And he was keeping it real. And so we have people that come from generations of Black failure. And they are online stalking and harassing your light workers and your witches and your spiritualists and your readers. Okay. In fact, they go in complete opposite of any type of Black progression because they are not progressing. There's nothing you can do to change that. I would, if, and I'm wondering, this is why I'm addressing this. I'm wondering if people thought that I was supposed to change this. No, I'm only supposed to change my situation, my children, my loved ones, and the clients that I help. Everybody else's issue is not my problem. I refuse to carry anybody else's cross. So, as a high priestess, I feel like the reason why, because I've got people that literally worship me, literally worshiping me. Okay. Regardless if you know, it's a form of worship. It's not up to me to help those people. I won't do anything for them except for hurt them worse than they already hurt me. As a spiritualist, I have every right to defend myself. You can't force me to do nothing, and it ain't gonna change. Not ever. I don't go around giving free work to people. I don't. That's not my problem. That's not my job. More than likely, if you're sticking close to my family, or if you're trying to stick close to me, more than likely there's probably some sort of ancestral war. I'm going to represent my ancestors as well as win for myself and my clients. For me to just give of myself, I'm not Jesus. So many of us, especially if you're raised in a Black family, you are definitely being raised to just sacrifice yourself for something that you shouldn't even be sacrificing yourself for. As a spiritualist, what I can guarantee you is that I am going to clear you of disease, sickness, mental illness, okay? As your spiritualist, I can unblock your money. Can I go through your entire family and save everybody? No, you can't even do that. There is nobody in this world besides Jesus Christ that is going to be willing to sacrifice themselves for you to that capacity. Now, when it comes to Black religion and spirituality, this is what it's been about. It's been all about sacrifice. That's it. Sacrifice your kids, sacrifice your grandkids, sacrifice your baby mama, sacrifice your husband. So it just at every turn, the Black person is giving a choice between Tweedledum and Tweedledummer. When you realize as a Black person that you have the right, not only is this a spiritual right, but this is your primal right as a human being to overcome that. You cannot save those other people. You cannot do it. Everybody is meant to save themselves, unless it's somebody that's like your twin flame. When you get into romantic love, then that can be very different. Very, very different. But when it comes to unblocking people, or some of these people, they're just straight up drug addicts. If you see a person online begging for money every day and they're willing to throw everybody under the bus, it's probably because they have a crack problem. Now, we all know that the crack epidemic hit the Black community like a demon. It did, but it also hit up the white communities too. Don't get it twisted. Okay. So right now, what we're looking at is the aftermath of these people's lives and what they're going through, and the projection that they put off on other people. Mm-hmm. You said sure did both. Good rising to you too, Jay Lawrence. Yeah, you cannot change those people. For example, there are Black people in social media, they want me to control their Tourette's syndrome. They want me to do a complete overhaul on them. They want me to just go ahead and break it all the way down and help them as if I would work with a client for years and years. And that will never happen. I don't care who you're friends with. I don't care who you knows. You are not going to get my services for free ever. This was the problem with Black people for so long. The reason why you were taken into slavery and into captivity is so that you could shovel someone else's shit. When you become very aware and self-aware that you are able to change that for yourself and your family, and I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna say this to all African American people. You see a woman like me, obviously very strong and powerful. That is for my family and my children, period, not for yours. So you got people out here, they trying to convince people that they can feed off of others and they can do all of this, but these people have gotten more and more frustrated because they don't realize what they're doing. So this is the reason why you have people, and you can even see them, they're vultures. There's a lot of vultures on YouTube. Okay. And they do come to YouTube. They're hiding behind troll accounts as well. You can't do anything for those people. You would destroy yourself trying to do that for those people. Let's face it, the only way you're going to do that is if you have unconditional love for a person that might either be under of a friendship capacity or either a romantic capacity. If you are a person that is wandering and lost on YouTube, especially a Black person, and you are looking for either a friendship or a romantic connection that is going to lead you to any kind of salvation, you are fooling yourself. But first of all, before you can even have a romantic thing or anything real, you have to lead yourself out of that confusion. You have to become a whole person first. You can't do it. And you know what? Everybody is at a certain level. Everybody is striving forward. Okay. When you see a person stuck back in the 1950s, 1940s, 1800s, these people are having a past life regression. If you are showing fat photos to somehow try to discredit somebody, which I don't see how that would discredit somebody in their power, being overweight doesn't mean somebody has less power. Okay. But you're literally 5, 6 years ago, and you're going around and you're telling other Black people, well, remember back in 1987 when you was on food stamps, remember? Huh? What about that? You are being automatically put in the category as a failed person to do that automatically. Now, listen, I'm breaking this down for my people. I'm not talking to the people that are doing this. I'm talking about my people that are listening, my people that are trying to get somewhere and go somewhere, my people that are trying to get away from that demonic, disgusting, sadistic Section 8 landlord. Okay. Or those of you that are trying to step up your lifestyle. And especially you single moms, the reason why I'm like a succulent to them is because I represent the sacrifice. These idiots thought that they were going to be able to sacrifice the single mothers and the children. They keep getting reminded over and over again as we win. And it's only if you're Black. It's okay to be a white single mother. It's okay to be a white anything. But if you're Black, if you got any amount of Black, so me being light skinned does not give me a like it doesn't make things easier for me. Honestly, it doesn't. And I don't think being dark makes anything easier either. This type of failure that has happened to generations of Black people. Now, I can honestly look back at the last generation of my family. This is my personal ancestors, my grandmama, Lena Briscoe. Okay. When I look back at her, she was a pioneer woman, very successful at her job. And then when she retired from her job, she started her hair business. Very successful woman. I can't even go back. You know what? To be honest with you, when I look at my grandpa, Nathaniel Boston, he had his own house that he gifted to his daughter, or my grandmother. When I look back, even 3 generations of my family, there was not any kind of generational failure. Okay. Hello, behavior wellness. Hello. Yeah, we all do, including me, because this is a channeled message from spirit. You cannot save or help somebody that doesn't want to save or help themselves. Period. And some of these people that you're coming across, they've pretty much given up on life. Okay. Looking at them, it hurts. It makes you feel discouraged. It's like, my goodness, how can somebody? But in reality, guess what? The only thing that you can do is allow that to motivate you. Okay. The reason why you can see it being a problem is because your eyes are wide open. Now, keep in mind that we had Black people, African American people, that were trying to use classism, racism, and sexism against the Black woman. Okay. This is what's been happening consistently for years. Okay. Now, when you look at myself, when you look at where I came from, okay, because depending on who you decided to copulate with, okay, so that's why I've been talking about the baby daddy, baby mama paradigm. Depending on who you decided to copulate with, this is another thing, this is another excuse that they tried to use to further stop you, hold you back, and to try to do harm to your family. In reality, these Black people, they are confused because that is what they do. They put other Blacks on the chopping block and they try to curse them. Okay, it's all a ritual. Even when you see a live ritual, you can't change that. Not necessarily. You shouldn't even be focused on changing that. What you can focus on is what you can do today to make your life better. Thank you. Thank you, behavioral wellness. I appreciate that. Appreciate you, sis. Okay. Overcoming it, I wouldn't necessarily say that it's difficult, but I think that the way that most people are trying to overcome it is very difficult. Most people are trying to overcome this by talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking until they're blue in the face. That's not going to do anything because it's not going to change. A person's fate is their fate. Okay. And you know the saying where they say, well, you're supposed to be trying to lift people up, not kick them down. And that is true. But you can't lift somebody up that is stuck to the ground. You can't do it. You can't lift those people up. You're gonna pull your arm out of the socket trying to lift those people up because they're crabs in a barrel. Guess what they do if you try to lift them up? They pull you and try to pull you down. Matter of fact, it's very difficult these days deciphering what the truth is, okay, in a situation. And oftentimes what you'll find is that, it's not even about race. but that ignorance comes in all races. But for some reason in the Black community, Black people think that they have the right to label and stereotype their own people. Even just recently, the past 5 years, I have had Black men that have not made very many accomplishments, but they felt that just because, number one, I'm a woman, patriarchy, and number two, that I'm a Black woman, racism, and number three, that I am a mother, that they could use that against me. And see, this is where I'm telling you, Spirit, is a storm coming. It's definitely a storm coming. I can always predict it. We're going to go ahead and predict it now that it's definitely a storm coming. Because what it is, Spirit is trying to clear a lot of this stuff up. But the more and more resistant that those people are, they're just being resistant. They don't want to change their lives. They don't want to live any better. They don't want to do any better. When they see other people doing better than them, this is when they go on the attack. You are not going to overcome that situation without witchcraft. It was witchcraft that put us in this situation, and it's going to be witchcraft that's going to bring us out. And regardless of what they say about High Priestess Jamila, I was not only able to overcome it, but I was able to do it really quickly, because they will try to do that. Now, the latest thing is these men that are agents for the welfare system, okay? These are men that feel better if you're on welfare and food stamps. These are men that feel better if you're codependent. These are men that feel better if you're, if you're not stable. What kind of man is that? Well, we don't even really call that a man anymore. He doesn't get the title of divine masculine. He doesn't. This is somebody that is such a low life that they are completely in opposite of what nature intended on them to be. This is almost like, and I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. Y'all ever see that movie Cujo? Even though there were no Black people in that movie. But when you think about the movie Cujo, remember the dog called rabies from a bat that bit him in the nose. He got bit by a bat and terrorized this woman and her son for days in the car. For days. It's the same difference. A lot of these men, they're almost genetically modified, almost. These are GMO men. Okay. These are men that their sole purpose is to be an empty seater for a demon. Okay, they're willing to say anything, do anything without much of a purpose in life, honestly. Okay, the reason why these cowards pick on single mothers and Black women, the reason why is because they feel that Black women are the easy targets. They feel that single mothers are absolutely the easy target. Well, you know what? You ever fight with a bull? You ever wrestle with a bull? That's literally how they felt dealing with me the past 6 years. Okay. And overcoming that requires what? It requires some sort of discernment. You're going to have discernment. But the one thing I want to drive home to y'all, okay, is that many of you in that situation, even if you wanted to get out of it, you're not going to get out of it in this lifetime that doesn't involve witchcraft of some sort. Let's be fair to say that. Whatever it is, okay, it was witchcraft that put you there. And so I'm guessing that, for example, when you see generations of people that are not able to obtain wealth, why are they not able to obtain any kind of wealth? Well, that could be a curse. Maybe they might do something negative with that money. You don't want to empower your enemy. You don't want to empower somebody like that because they would bring about a lot of problems. This is why they have to be kept where they're at. You can't feel sorry for those types of people. If they were actually trying to make any kind of changes within themselves, they would have done it a long time ago. These are people that are not going to change, not for the better. They'll get worse, but it may not be for the better. Okay. And what's happening is that these people have been genetically modified. Okay. Um, it's it's almost like generational rabies is what it's like. Okay. And it's really, really, really important for you to know who the bad guy is. As Black people, we shouldn't even be accepting negative influences over our people. I mean, and so we can't necessarily say that we're Jews. We're not Jewish at all. Black people can't say that because we're probably the only race that allows, for systematic racism to happen internally. Regardless if you look at other races or cultures of people, some of them are culture vultures, but at the end of the day, they're not doing that and they're not going along with systematic racism and slavery. If you notice, we've had a lot of Black males on here, and we got to talk about the males because they are important. Okay. The Black men are important, looking at what they're doing, looking at their behavior, looking at what they're trying to do. A Black man that is trying to kick down a Black woman for bettering herself and bettering her children's lives. This is somebody that does this on a regular basis. This is somebody that does this in their everyday life. So really you got to think about the lies that they tell and the treachery that they use. There are some Black people that look at you and they hate you more than a white person. And the reason why they do is because they just hate their own people. They just hate Black people. They are not going to give you anything. They're not going to seed you with anything valuable that you need. And when they see somebody doing that, they want to destroy them. Okay. And they will destroy other Black males, or they will try to. If you are a Black male that's trying to do right by your community, they will strike back at you. That's just like Tupac Shakur. A lot of people may have an opinion of Tupac Shakur, but Tupac Shakur was killed by his own people. And so were other Black leaders. They were killed by their own people. Why is that? Why is that? Have you seen, like, we probably have seen that in the history of other races, but when you think about it today, as it applies today, this is happening today in 2021. They have no self-awareness. So stop thinking that these people know what they're doing. They are just repeating generational failure over and over again. They're repeating to you what they heard from their own families. They're repeating to you what they feel about themselves. You cannot change those people. You only think, what did Jill Scott say? Jill Scott said, hate on me, hater. If I was to invite you in for lemonade or make you an apple pie, you would still hate on me. All of this has been perpetuated in the Black community. The Black community is absolutely divided, and it's going to stay divided. There will never be any unity in the Black community. This would be very dangerous for them to mix us up like that. Y'all have seen the social experimentation that has been done. It's totally stressful. There can't be any unity in the Black community when we've got Black people that are running around with demons actively in their body. It can't happen. And so, what are you supposed to do as a Black person? Are you supposed to say, am I my brother's keeper? And I'm going to be like Jesus and die for you? No, no. Man, that is not what your ancestors are telling you or nothing. So, this is the reason why, when it comes to being a witch, I can be very, very dark because I don't ever want to wake up in the morning and my children not have any food to eat, or me having to run down to the welfare office to ask them for help. That is why, as a Black woman, I will literally tear down and destroy any Black person that tries to tear me down. What else are you supposed to do? Be kind to them? That's not what Black folks are supposed to be doing. Now, you ain't supposed to be chasing and stalking nobody. You ain't supposed to be doing stuff like that. But you're supposed to defend yourself. Okay? And see, Black people have got to get close, back connected with nature. Because when you take a good close look at a lot of people, and this is a lot of people, those people that are attacking you, they are somebody else's sacrifice. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay? The ones that are lost and confused, they are someone else's sacrifice. They want you to take their place in being sacrificed. Good morning, Jacretia. Hello. That's what that's about. So instead of whatever that thing is, that which, everybody, I feel like demons are personal. They're very personal. Okay. So whatever is on them can take you instead. This is why it's so important for you to protect yourself spiritually. They can laugh and they can point fingers and they can say, "Oh, look at you over there lighting them candles," but them candles work and they will always work. They will always work. It's not up to me to change the world either. That's not up to us to do that. That's going to be God. Okay, we can change it on a smaller scale. You can change your environment and what affects you, either negatively or positively, but to change the whole world and to someday, sing kumbaya and everybody just get along and be, no, that is never going to happen. As long as there are negative people that bring in difference, people are going to always have their swords up and ready with some people got their guns ready. Okay? It's not your problem to change those people. It's not. Okay? Many of us witches out here in social media, we're not miracle workers that are just walking around touching people. That's not what we do. Okay? So especially if you're a witch and you're watching, honey, let me tell you, it's a walk in the park. As a Black witch, controversial, I have had nothing but constant attacks from my own people, and all they are is a walk in the park to me. They ain't scaring nobody, they ain't stopping nobody, and they for damn sure ain't making nobody lose faith. That's what it's all about. I can tell you that thinking that without witchcraft you're going to make a difference with that situation, it ain't going to ever happen. Okay? Just to let y'all know, your ex that you're dealing with that's ignorant, you're going to have to put some work on him. Okay? You're going to have to bind these people. You're going to have to send their energy back to them. You're going to have to. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself struggling internally as well as externally. You're going to find yourself struggling. You're going to find yourself insecure. You're going to feel some type of way about self. So, and you'll find that the people that you're trying to save, they're not even interested in saving themselves. You can do something nice and you can do something of good faith, and people will throw it up in your face when you do it. And then that's when you pretty much know what it is. And it's time for you to let those people go. People in your family, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles. Unfortunately, what we're looking at is almost like a zombie apocalypse. They have allowed certain things and energies to literally change their DNA. So what you guys have to do is you have to protect your own DNA. Protect it. It's valuable. Okay. It's how our ancestors survived. All of them. I've got a mixture of ancestors. Okay. The way that they survived was not by giving in to thy enemy. It's not. And see, that's the one thing that you can't do. That's the one way that you hot-tail it up out of my circle is when you're bending over backwards for somebody that is your enemy that ultimately will destroy you. Okay. Most people, when they see you doing stuff like that, it's like, oh, okay, well, this person just wants to be a sacrifice and sacrifice themselves, praise Jesus, and I'm going to walk away. Okay. Many of you guys are slated to go out unfulfilled, sick, and just, to leave your children nothing. That's how they mean for you to go out so that they can have another generation of people that is on that BS. Poverty produces what? Crime. Crime produces what? Slaves. Okay. In America, if you are in the criminal justice system, if you are in prison, you are factually considered to be a slave. Okay, so Kanye West, that's what he meant by saying that slavery still goes on in America. There's all sorts of other type of slaveries and stuff. And you know what? But it's mainly that mental enslavement. Nobody has the right to come and unless you've committed a crime. Okay, then that would give them the right. So this is the reason why it's so important for Black men to check themselves and check how they're talking and check their behavior. You are a role model for the next generation. So any Black man that's being a negative influence, you're considered the bane of society. People only pretend to like you. Otherwise, they don't really like you. They know the problem that you are. And it's okay to be yourself. But the point is that looking at the future generation of Blacks, where are they going to be? It depends on your mama. It depends on your mama. It depends on what she did for you. If you recognize that they're under witchcraft, when you recognize that they are under biblical witchcraft, okay, the Bible is a book of spells. Okay, hold on a second, guys. That's a book of spells. That Bible was created to put our people into enslavement and to keep them enslaved, period. It was used as a tool to enslave, races of people, not just Black people, but other races of people. So let's keep it real when it comes to that. A lot of you guys are, just looking at the father of your child. You're going to have generations of people with a handout that will have a hard time surviving. And I'm going to tell you something. When the fat meat becomes greasy, baby, it's going to become real greasy, because they about to get real greasy. They about to get real, like, I swear to God, I can see it coming. I'm predicting it right now after they done gave. And see, that's why I told y'all better get with it, because if you think that you're going to continue to get a free ride, you are out of your mind. It's not going to happen. They getting ready to start snatching a lot of those benefits from people. Okay, including the Section 8 program. All of that is going to be gone. The reason why you need to know this is because you need to prepare for it. Now, for the past 2 years, I have been preparing my people that follow me. I have been preparing y'all for that. And people will get mad. They'll thumbs down. They'll go, oh my God, how dare she say that? Because, being that I have this free benefit, it allows me to kind of sit around and not do much. And, I don't have to make too much of an effort. I don't have to change myself. This is coming. Okay. And it's coming within the next 3 years. So a lot of people, it's better for you to prepare yourselves now. Okay. You do not want to be in a situation where you are sitting there, your children need food, but because the government shut the door on you, you don't have it to feed your kids, because they can only give so much. I'm just telling you what I know. I realize that we are their subjects, but at this point, a lot of the things that you're seeing, that's just like, okay, if you notice here lately, there have been people talking about, in particular, Black people in social media. What have they been talking about? They've been talking about government benefits and selling food stamps. Have y'all noticed that? Now, peep game on this. This is a precursor to what is coming. Y'all realize that there's going to be a huge bust. They busting people for fraud for that. Left and right. You don't hear about it on the news. But there's going to be a whole new overhaul with that system. And a lot of people that have been codependent on that for generations, they're going to have to come up out of that. So what I've been doing, and I had started preparing my family 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Okay, everybody's going to have to do it eventually. That you start preparing yourself for that, and then that way you will be even further. Stop playing around with these people. These people are not playing around with you. When you start seeing stuff like that, this is when something is going to give. Now, right now, it's not going to happen, but I'm gonna tell y'all something. Everybody needs to prepare for this coming up summer, fall of this year. I'm telling you, don't kill the messenger. People will try to kill the messenger. I'm not the one that's bringing this into the fold. I'm speaking to the people that obviously need to hear this, because most of my clients, they already there. Okay, I have clients that, they sometimes send me upwards of $3,000 for work to get done. Trust me, they're not hurting for a food stamp benefit or a Section 8. If somebody has $3,000 to pay for spell work, what do you think? They're definitely not going to be codependent on any system. Okay. And right now, what's happening is that many people are literally in a psychosis. They are either under some kind of psychosis or either mind control. You wake up a few years from now, you're going to see a totally different world. The paradigm is going to change. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you something. What's gonna change it is the hatred and all of that they have been showing for so many people. That's what's going to change it, not me. Everybody has their own individual choice of the lifestyle that they want to lead. Okay? Everybody does. But when it boils down to it, you know, they they sort of will adopt you. They tried to adopt me as some sort of poster child, welfare queen or something, which is totally not true because I've always worked. They don't ever want to give you credit. Who cares? They're nobody's judge. But when you look at stuff like that, instead of laughing at it, you better pay attention. In a few years, these people are going to have a very, very rude awakening, but we're going to be prepared for it, ain't we? All my people that listen to me and commune with me and understand exactly where I'm coming from. And then there's a lot of you guys that look up to me. And I thank y'all for that. But you guys are going to realize that now is the time to apply everything that I have been telling y'all. Okay. And do not get it twisted at all. Don't you listen to these people that tell you that I'm on Section 8. No, honey. Don't you listen to these people that tell you that. Okay. See, the whole purpose of me being a leader is that I am a leader. So a lot of you guys that I'm supposed to be leading out of that poverty, which many of you guys are of female gender and you have children. Now, for some reason, this poverty also bred a lot of other things. Okay. They want to take advantage of the women and the children. They want to, and they will spiritually attack you. They will try to have you scattered. Okay. This is the whole point of the circles because they'll try to have you scattered and they'll be trying to crazy make you and do all of that crazy stuff, won't they? So that the system can come and take your children so that they can get molested, sold for organs, sold for sex, sold for slavery. Okay. Are we going to let them do that? Hell no. Okay. I'm just telling y'all what I know about what's happening right now. So all of y'all single mothers, y'all children were the ones that were supposed to be taken into the system and basically sacrificed. There's been many sacrifices. Not none of my children. And I'm just gonna tell you that, and that's why I said y'all need to, you know, cut it off at the head. For me, I think that I did let some things go too far. But at this point, many of you guys that are dealing with certain situations, and you can look at me and you can say, wow, especially y'all that got little children that are 1, 2, 3 years old. Some of y'all children are 7 or 8 years old. You better take heed because it turns into a whole other ball game the older that those children get. Okay. And the last time I checked, which I think that some of these black men, they feel that the older the children get, the less expensive that they get. No, honey, actually, it's the other way around. But being that they haven't really had to put up much of an effort to support their own. And see, here's the whole thing about it. Don't matter if you're single, sis. Don't matter if you're dark skinned or you're light skinned, sis. The point is that we're going to get you mentally, spiritually, physically, and financially where you need to be for your children. And that is the ultimate mission statement over here, especially when it comes to my single mothers. I don't like the way that they treat black single mothers at all. It's disgusting. Especially some of these men that came from these real, just, oh God, just, hey, you can say whatever you want to say about a person, but when a person is making strides forward and they are actually helping people and they are actually helping their community, you cannot argue with that person, can you? Can you? You can't argue with that person. There's no debate about this. There's no debate about this, okay? It's not. And we got to stop with the colorism too. We got to stop with that colorism crap. Okay, just to let y'all know. You got to start drawing that roadmap, laying out the blueprint for your life. Some of you guys, y'all waited till the kids got a little bit older. I did the same exact thing. Don't let these people take your lives or the lives and the life essence of your children. Because when they feel they can't get what they need out of you, notice how they always turn to the children for their throat chakra energy. In particular, they focus on the throat chakra for some reason. And I personally think that people that are out in the open doing disgusting things like that, obviously they're cursed and they need to remove some stuff from themselves. But I believe that the constant need to, because I'm getting ready to, guys, I'm gonna come back for some readings a little bit later. But as far as me continuing this discussion, I can't do it. There's so many other things that need to be done right now, and you cannot let them to distract you from that. Okay, yes, they are horrible and disgusting. They will threaten your children. Reverse it and keep it moving. Send it back to them. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Bye. Got that sent back to you. Okay, and let me do my protection and keep it moving. If you don't know how to do that, then it's important for you to speak with a practitioner that has done it, at least for themselves, because regardless of what people say about me, I got my house all by my lonely. And it's nothing wrong with it. It's not lonely. It's not all by your lonely. It's pretty normal. It's not a horrible thing. A lot of people will give up on life. They'll try to make you feel bad because you were able to do something by yourself. And it's nothing wrong with that. You did what you had to do it. What nobody else gonna do it? Was anybody else gonna do it? Nope. Okay. So stop paying attention to the smoke and mirrors and the lies and the distractions, and focus on what is to come, because I'm telling you, I think they're going to be a little delayed in the income tax returns, but they're going to be coming out. It's probably going to be another stimulus. They giving away all this free money because they getting ready to cut a lot of people off. So it's time for people to actually start using their own energy. Actually, if you use your own energy to manifest, right now, the people that are going to be given those benefits are going to have to be terminally ill, which it is a terminal illness that will lead you to that kind of generational problem. So prepare yourselves, okay? Just as I did, the reason why I am the light bearer is because that is what I am supposed to be, whether or not it's to a Black person or another race of a person. I don't just help Black people at my company, I help all races of people. What I do not tolerate is racism, sexism, classism. Those things are abolished, period. When you see it's complete and utter failure of a Black man to use patriarchal values against another culture of a person. For example, if I were to decide, hey, I'm Hindu, and I don't want to get married at a church, I want to have a Hindu wedding. There's no Black person that can say to me, hey, yeah, hey, you're not supposed to be doing that. Hey, what are you doing over there? No, they don't have the right to do that. They don't have the right to tell you as a Black woman that you're a piece of crap just because you're not married. They don't have the right to do that. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Light them can. In fact, you reminded me I need to take me another one today. So yeah, them spiritual baths are really powerful, but you definitely gonna need that fire energy as well. And you know what's sad is the amount of Black people that are burning candles to try to destroy you. And what have you done to them actually? It's just misery loving company. Oh, I'm Black, you're Black, and I get to use you for any purpose that I want. You know, this is a failure. This is somebody that may have failed at something, or either every day. Don't pay attention to them. Stop watching them. Flag their stuff. Flag them when they're doing things like that. This is not the time to do that. Do you really want to see a lot like you realize how many Black people are going to be screwed over because of these people? I can promise you that they will. And you know what? The one place that you'll have to go is spirit, because your ancestors are witches, Black or white. You know, it's not just Black people that go through that, it's white people that go through that too. They got people that clout chase, set chase, do all kind of stuff to each other. The only difference is that Black people tend to, you know, the furthest that they go with their religion or their spiritual beliefs is religion. And that's a huge That's a huge mistake to make as a Black, as any person. Just because the Bible told you not to do it don't mean that you can't do it. That's just like people eat seafood all the time. That's just like people take the Lord's name in vain. Everything in the Bible that it says people are not supposed to do, they do it anyway. Okay? I didn't even read that message. I'm sorry. If you're in here and look, I don't want nothing to do with that. Okay? Let me tell you something. Black people need to wake up and pay attention to what you are doing. There is no Black man that can team up with a white man or Asian man or any other man that can destroy the goddess. Because right now they depend on her for food. And if they want to say, oh, well, we'll just take you out. Well, you know, don't conform to their threats. I've been on YouTube for like the past several years. I've actually been on YouTube for 10 years. Not once have I ever been afraid of any threats that these people have made towards me. You know why? Because I stay close to my spirits. That's why. And you got to stay connected. You know, a lot of people that were in the circle, they felt very protected, very grounded, very secure. That is because the ancestors were working for you. Okay, very important to understand that, especially when, well, you know, witchcraft has been around since the dawn of time, you know, and you got to be careful. You got to be careful out here. Be careful with who you listen to. Be careful with who you commune with. Be careful. Be careful out here. Okay. Now, for me, there, now I'm going to tell you straight up, you know, as far as with my business, and the reason why it will continue to go further has nothing to do with what it has nothing to do with what people think it does. It has everything to do with me doing what is right, because doing right by those people that I have helped and actually doing what is promised to them has helped me. It wouldn't be any good for me to come out here and be a scammer. for me to charge you for something that I don't actually do that doesn't get any results? What would that do? That would hurt me. That would actually mess with my reputation. And I've had people just recently trying to mess with my reputation, and they can't do nothing. They don't have the power to do that. Because at the end of the day, all of it is smoke and mirrors that can be handled with witchcraft. A lot of y'all that are going through slander, smear campaigns, all of that stuff, it does not matter. Okay. When you put that pen to that paper and when you put your intent into that work, what they have done is wasted their breath and wasted their time and energy. Period. That's it. It's a lot of people that can only talk a good game, but they can't actually deliver. That's just like talking and talking and talking, but you're not able to produce. And they're jealous of a person that can produce a house on over half an acre with walls around it. See, that is called using magic to pull something out of a dream or reality or a vision that you have and being able to actually bring it into the physical. That is where they have the issue. That is what they're constantly trying to interrupt people in doing. This is the reason why they're constantly bitsy bugging around, trying to light their candles. The one person ain't no different from the last person that did it. It's gonna backfire on them. Just chill out and relax. Don't listen to them at all. They have no power over you and what has been promised to you. The problem is that they either took it, stole it, and now you're going to have to bring it back to yourself, is what you're going to have to do. Because there's been generations of people that have had wealth and money stolen from them. Their flesh and their blood being consumed by these demons, period. So make sure that you understand what exactly is going on. And if you guys need me, I'm always here. I already know what y'all going through. I'm already knowing what you're going through. Being oppressed and suppressed by, these particular male types that they not doing anything. They just running their mouth and that's it. That's it. That's all they're doing. They're not actually giving you anything tangible. They're not actually producing a house, a car, anything for you or themselves. So, anyway, y'all, I gotta go. Especially if you a black person, man, stop listening to that ignorance. If you want to increase your money, if you want to change your life, you want to get healthier, y'all know how to do it. Okay, a lot of people think that they're healthy just because they go to the doctor. These people are very ignorant. They think, oh, I'm going to the doctor. That means I'm healthy. Is that what that means if you're going to the doctor? I thought that going to the doctor meant that you were very unhealthy. Why are these generational sicknesses and illnesses and poverties constantly being passed down and constantly being projected to other people? Because these people have not found their way out of that. And they are angry at anybody that has. And they wish it was them. For some reason, I've seen black men, they wish that they were walking in my footsteps. They wish that they were a single father that, kind of struggled to get to where they were at. They want to be in that position, which is ridiculous and preposterous, but it's the truth because a lot of them are very effeminate. They want your story to be their story, but it is not. Okay. That's all I wanted to say to you guys. I will see y'all later. Y'all have a happy Tuesday. Oh, I got some emails to check. I see. Y'all have a happy Tuesday, and I will see y'all later. Peace and love.